Hi, how's it going? This is Resident of Collinwood for YouTube, back with another Dark Shadows video for you guys and gals. I am here to do episode 113, written by Francis Swan, directed by John Sedgwick. So this episode begins at the old house. We see previously where Matthew was walking up to it. Here you're getting a location shot. Great job. This isn't the only one you get. Matthew enters the old house. This is the first time you see that the bookcase in the old house opens up to a small room. What I would equivalent to closet space, or modern day closet space. So beautiful set design here by Cy Thomasoff. Obviously, you get Matthew You get Burke Devlin's hotel room, the old house, the inside of the old house, the secret sort of small room. You get the drawing room of Collinwood, because Mrs. Johnson is there. So you get a couple places. There's not many actors in this episode. There doesn't need to be, and I like how what they do here. Mrs. Johnson, after we see the opening of the old house and Matthew Morgan sort of sitting in a chair in the small room that's beyond the bookcase. We get the next scene is in the Collins Port Inn. It's in Burke Devlin's hotel room. Mrs. Johnson has come to tell Burke Devlin the truth about Bill Malloy's death. It was Matthew Morgan. Obviously, Burke is shocked. Burke is shocked it's not Burke Devlin. He's shocked he's wrong. But I like what Mrs. Johnson does here. Even though they caught Bill Malloy's murderer, she still feels Roger is somehow responsible because he didn't admit to the manslaughter charge that sent Burke to prison for 5 years. Burke feels the same. Mrs. Johnson is still going to work for the Collins family, spy on them on behalf of Burke Devlin. So she's not satisfied. That's what she says. This is not Burke's only visitor. You get shortly after this, you get David Collins. I like how really they don't go anywhere. They do a great transition here. We transition from Mrs. Johnson leaving to Burke coming out of the kitchen and another knock on his door, and it's instead of Mrs. Johnson, it's David. Mr. Johnson has left by this time, and you don't know how long it's been, but it must not have been long because we're going to get a scene later that explains something. David, again, he feels the same way. He more definitely feels that it was his father who killed Bill Malloy. He does not believe it was Matthew Morgan that killed Bill Malloy at all. Which is going to send him on his quest to find Matthew Morgan. He's going to, talk to the ghost or try to talk to them at least, especially Josette. I like the conversation. I really do, between Mitch Ryan's character, Burke Devlin, and David. Because Mitch Ryan is kind of defending Roger, but you can't just pin it on him, It's like, who are you and what have you done with the real Burke Devlin? Like, right? It's the truth. It's the truth. So, but I more love the conversation between Mrs. Johnson and David because it's David misses nothing for a kid whose mind is a bit warped. He says, you were at the Collins Port Inn. You were talking to Burke Devlin. Oh, I don't like Burke Devlin. Oh, and I don't hate your father. Oh, yes, you do. I could tell by the way you look at him. And she sort of dismisses this whole thing of, oh, I don't look at your dad. I just think this is a great conversation of David. David sort of sees through Mrs. Johnson, but he's not going to tell anybody. David is more against his dad than anybody else. I would say second on that list would be Vicky still. Though Vicky has seen a ghost, Vicky's more of a distant second now. Roger is more David's primary target. Still, we're still there. We're still, he still does not like his dad. And you don't have any inconsistency in that fact. He does a good job of sort of, okay, I'll be this behaved kid for Miss Winters because she saw a ghost and I kind of like her now. Um, but you also have a very interesting thing happen in this episode, and I like the setup here. David going to the old house, and before he goes to the old house, the conversation with Mr. Johnson about the ghost, about how, oh, you'd think that you'd make fun of me, you'd think it was funny that I talked to ghosts. And I love Mrs. Johnson's words to him. I don't think there's anything funny about talking to ghosts. I don't think it's funny because you're saying you're talking to a dead person. You know, but ghosts can't appear at trials. You know, it's sort of this nice moment for Mrs. Johnson where it's like, okay, she doesn't laugh at David. She sort of feels sorry for him because here's a kid who doesn't have any other kids to play with. He has no, his friend, if you will, his closest living friend is Bert Devlin. His next friend, living friend, like you could say it's Miss Winters, but it would be more the ghost still. David going to the old house and asking the ghost of Josette, "Where's Matthew? Where's Matthew? Just give me a sign." And they sort of answer him by Matthew appearing. Matthew, what are you doing here? 20 question him about, oh, did you bring the sheriff? How could I know I trust you? Well, look out the window, David says. I love this interaction between Thayer David and David Hennessy. It's so fucking good. It is just, oh, again, I'm going to leave a link in the description box. You really need to go back and watch this episode. Really, really good episode. Just phenomenal. I love the performance. I said you get a location shot. Yeah, you see David running toward the old house. So that's your other one. David knows now Matthew is there. Matthew making the decision to trust him. And I do think this is a big decision for the character, but this is also going to send the character down the road of what's going to kill him off. The writers are in this episode laying the seeds to kill Matthew off. Very, 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 very non-suspicious. Like, okay, we're going to have him tell David. We're going to have him trust David. David's going to do things to help Matthew. Matthew needs to eat. Matthew needs certain things. David's going to get him those things. But there's going to be something unexpected that happens later on. And it's going to be really, really interesting. I love what the writers are doing here. I can't wait to get into the ghost aspect of what the ghosts do to Matthew, because it's deserved. It's more than deserved. And I'm gonna do sort of a double dose of this, of talking about the episode where Matthew gets killed off, and this isn't that episode, but talking about why it had to be the ghost, because I think that's important too. It also sets up the future trope of what is to be the Collinsport Police Department. So very, very, very interesting episode. And just great character interaction. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Have a good day.